Stop! Snake. Now that would explain it. Sorry. Guess I've been away a while. Shouldn't be such a stranger. Such a bad example for the men. And he gets pretty lonely, too. Come on, Dee Dee.
I like that there are different scenes for Dee Dee when you don't play the game for a while. Anyways, we got a new picture here of all of our Diamond Dogs members now that we have enough that there is now a cap that happens whenever more worthless soldiers get recruited. Miller just dismisses them all. Now, I did say last video that I was going to be doing side ops, but we're just going to go to the main missions because the side ops just never fucking ended.
Angola's Mfinda oil field, upstream from the landing point. A spill has covered the whole area and crude. A pipeline that crosses the Muneni River failed, and now the shore's a mess. Not to mention the villages downstream have no drinking water. To the pipeline from that facility. Taking it out should end the leak. The client this time is an environmental NGO. Destroy the facility. Stop that leak. This may seem like straight-up philanthropy, but there's another reason we agreed to it. The Mfinda oil field was outdated, abandoned. Then the rebel group UNITA moved in, taking it upon themselves to kickstart operations. UNITA's been rapidly modernizing its arsenal. Rumor has it someone's been selling them U.S. military hardware. Intel's analysis suggests the broker's a front company, Cyphers. Keeping tabs on UNITA can tell us who's pulling its strings.
I'm not sorry for the music.
Skullface, and Cypher with him. Good luck, boss. First, make your way to the oil facility. It's to the north, past Bwala Yamasa. The village is currently occupied by UNITA, so stay sharp.
So, welcome to Africa, everyone.
The war industry we started has taken a pretty crooked course these past 9 years. With no other options, soldiers have become dogs of war. Sent to conflict zones as private forces, or PFs. Guys we fought alongside are dying all around the globe for no reason. No banner. But it's how they survive. The demand for PFs here in Africa is especially high. Cold War standoffs, resource exploitation, tribal clashes. What's big business for developed countries has only brought conflict here. That mess you're standing in is just the latest example.
I had to slow down here a bit because if it goes too fast, Miller gets cut off.
You've arrived at Masa Village. It's been turned into a supply hub for UNITA, meaning it'll be stocked with weapons and resources. Should be a thing or two that'll come in handy. Don't be shy. They deserve to be in better hands.
So now that we're here in Africa, I guess this means that I don't have to do my Far Cry 2 Let's Play anymore. So yeah, these soldiers, I think they're slightly better than the Russians. They're more... They have better eyesight. On the whole though, everything kind of stays the same. not a big fan of the deploy zone here, that you're all the way down there while the vehicle gets dropped right here in front of these two guys. I'm honestly surprised they haven't noticed anything. So in this first village here, you can go on ahead, take the long way around, just completely skip it, and skip all the guys that are patrolling the base around here. But there is a side offset we need to do in this particular village. Also, I'm going to be being significantly more lethal this time around, unless someone's got A+, just because at this point my volunteers are all A's, so no need to worry about extracting everyone I see. And once again, as I said, I'm at the cap.
Analysis complete. Analysis complete.
Children. Child soldiers. Children there are abducted and trained to be soldiers. They're only taught to fight. And one day they grow up and teach the next generation the same way. With a gun in his hands, a kid is as dangerous as any adult. Only they don't know a thing about right and wrong.
Detected. The map
Boss,
has been updated.
do not hurt any child soldiers. If you do, the mission is over.
But you'll notice I'll get like a bunch of notifications of this many staff has been dismissed, which is nice. That means all the E's and D's that I have hanging around Mother Base will eventually start one by one getting pruned off automatically.
Ever since the attack on your unit 9 years ago, the name Big Boss has become known the world over.
What do you mean?
Those of your men who survived traveled far and wide. They fought throughout the world. In fact, they're part of the reason we have all these PFs now. Every one of them suffered their own phantom pain from losing you. Talking about you wherever they went helped to heal their wounds. Your actions and words, your legend, has been told on every battlefield they've set foot on. Obviously, as the tales have spread, the truth's been distorted, painted over. Big Boss sacrificed himself to show us the threat that Cypher poses. He sounded a warning, so it goes.
A warning?
Too much power destroys the hands that hold it. Apparently, you chose to be a living example of that.
I never said any of that.
The moment any truth is passed on, it starts turning into fiction. The problem is, fiction inspires people more than facts. To the world, you're now the legendary mercenary Big Boss. The lessons you've taught the PFs are the reason they're so widespread. They're the reason they've survived. And you know what they all aspire to? To one day go nuclear, just like you did, and stand up to Cypher.
Of all the stupid things you could do.
They'll never understand what you really wanted. Heroes are misunderstood. It takes a man of the same caliber to understand what drives them. Bottom line is, these guys want to be like their hero, Big Boss. And deep down, they all have their eyes on nuclear weapons. They say that a nuke is the only means of standing against Cypher. But these days, it's becoming little more than a slogan to rally the troops and survive in a cutthroat business.
Currently, there are 3 major PFs who've expanded into Central Africa. CFA, Rogue Coyote, and Zero Risk Security. HEC's investigations have shown there's almost no overlap between their areas of operation. It's not so much a turf war, more like they have a gentleman's agreement. If you do cross paths with them, you probably won't have to face more than one at a time. Still, don't expect a walk in the park.
So even though Miller said he will shut down the mission if we hurt any of the child soldiers, it's okay for us to slam them around, you know, punch them up a bit. It's cool. Big Boss is all about the, you know, he's pro hurting your child.
Extraction puts a huge strain on the body. Too much for a child. To extract kids, you'll have to carry them to the chopper.
He's pro corporal punishment, I should say. But as said, if you do kill them, game over. There is, of course, a mod that lets you kill them without getting an automatic game over, because fucking video gamers are more than happy to prove that they're all a bunch of psychopaths and they must have their children killing mods.
The CFA, Contract Forces of Africa. These guys are a major player. Their head office is in Pretoria, South Africa. That's also where the South African Defense Force is headquartered. We think the two are closely connected. An HEC investigation revealed that most of the CFA's operators are former SADF soldiers. South Africa has been locked in struggles with neighboring regimes for years. That means constant action, and we know better than anyone that's the best kind of training. A company drawing its recruits from hardened military vets. You can bet they know how to handle themselves. Do not underestimate them.
Now, as Miller said, we can't extract them with Fultons. We actually need to research an upgrade for Fulton children. But we can't just...
You've made it past the village. Continue heading for the oil facility. It's located upriver.
We can't just bypass it by throwing them all in the vehicles and extracting the vehicle, which is nice.
Plant expansion.
Better than going hand by hand, one by one, dragging them all to the chopper.
It's the property of Saner, South African Natural Resources. Saner drills oil wells wherever they can throughout that region. When the oil dries up, they abandon the facility. Then it's only a matter of time before the aging equipment starts leaking crude. That means United's takeover is the perfect cover for Saner. Now they can blame the spill on a bunch of oil thieves. However you look at it, Saner's far from squeaky clean.
Oh, that pun, man. That's awful. Anyways, we have another side mission to do here.
That used to be a settlement, and now it's burned to the ground.
Looks like the Russians also visited Africa and enacted their scorched earth policy. I'm honestly not quite sure what's up with the music sting there, but our side off is to extract this vulture right here.
Destroy the oil facility and stop the flow of oil. You've got a straight path to the objective. You should find it no problem.
It's best to bring DD along just because he can track down the vulture.
Extraction.
There it is, the oil facility. To stop the leak, you need to shut down the oil transfer pump and destroy the oily water separator tank. The details are on your iDroid.
So there we go, side ops done. Extract all 4 of the children.
That's the oily water separator tank, one of the targets. Take it out.
Something I should mention, when you kill the child soldiers' instructors, they leave the map.
Within the CFA is a company of soldiers made up mainly of locally hired operators. They speak Afrikaans to communicate with personnel from the CFA. But if you notice any speaking the local language, that's them. Though hired from the local population, they were originally part of a paramilitary group, so they'll have plenty of combat experience. And unlike their days shooting junkyard rifles out of beat-up pickup trucks, the CFA now supplies them with the latest gear from the West. On top of that, they've been combat trained by the South African Army. All that adds up to a much stronger fighting force. So don't brush them off. Look at the Angola-Zaire border region. The east bank of the Munene River in particular. It's a microcosm of a problem that stretches all across Africa. There's a civil war going on in Angola fought between the government MPLA and the Western-backed UNITA. Zaire is still a dictatorship under President Mobutu, but numerous uprisings have broken out in its remote regions. With all the trouble elsewhere keeping their hands full, neither government has control over their side of the border. They depend on militias and PFs, as do the rebels. Government forces, guerrillas, militants, groups of all shapes and sizes hawk whatever resources they can to hire PFs. Conflict brings PFs. PFs expand the war zone, and more conflicts erupt in a continuous chain reaction. Sounds like our kind of work. Mother Base could grow by leaps and bounds.
So yeah, there goes my stealthy approach. I don't know why I always do it. Whenever I shoot a guy and I don't hit him in the head, I try to wait for him to stop flailing about and try to get the headshot, but he managed to get a scream out. But this does let me gush a bit more about the AI here, is that they're now investigating the base as a whole rather than just all congregating to that one soldier and once again just so happening to walk towards me. It actually makes it feel a bit more realistic, just because you can do distractions without the AI immediately going, oh hey, boss is here, let me walk straight to him. But yeah, so now that we're actually here in the main part of the mission, again, we could have skipped over the village earlier. We need to destroy an oil container thing and shut off the pump valve. We also go back to a base, something I haven't seen in a while, which is an actual proper base instead of just a wide open outpost. And what's actually pretty annoying here, as we can see, all of the guards here already have their night vision goggles.
Transfer pump control room. The emergency stop button is probably inside it.
All the night vision goggles, their helmets, and all that other fun stuff.
The enemy's given up their search for you, but they're not giving the all clear just yet. Stay alert.
Oh really, Ocelot? You could tell because you can understand their language, huh? How about translating for us, jackass? So I set off the C4 there. Figured I'll just detonate all the C4 at once. I'm also trying to secure a escape route right over here. We'll be using the cargo trick to exit the base. Oh, and once again, since I didn't get my footage of me interrogating a guy, once again we can't understand what they're saying because they're all speaking Afrikaans. And we'll need to get ourselves another interpreter so we can understand what all the guards say, as well as being able to interrogate the guards. Something makes me wonder though is how come we're able to tell guys to put their hands up and get down in English, but you know we can't interrogate them or whatever. Good spot to throw the corpse. I'm sure that won't come back and bite me in the ass later.
Destroy that. Alright, you planted the C4. Don't set it off until you're at a safe distance.
Gonna blow the fuck out of this separator tank.
Good. You're away from the C4. Any sign of the enemy? Be sure to time the explosion carefully.
Alright. On the home stretch here, again, the guards are all pretty distracted investigating the other side of the base. That first explosion didn't do anything about the pump switch. I hope that doesn't mean anything.
You destroyed the separator tank. Now you need to stop the oil transfer pump.
God fucking damn it. I would have figured just blowing it up would have worked. It does it for whenever I need to turn off the lights. And yeah, son of a bitch, there goes my stealth run. I mean, sure, I was pretty loud and they knew something was up, but they didn't explicitly see me. So whatever.
Transfer pump control room. The emergency.
Oh man, they're gonna find the body I threw down there.
Bodies? Why?
I only threw one guy in there. I didn't throw all the rest of them.
Oil transfer pump shut-off confirmed. Objectives complete. But the enemy has tightened security. Get out of there ASAP.
The enemy timed security a lot earlier, Ocelot. Just a quick mad dash to these resources right over here. But there are actually two different ways we could have exited this mission, which I didn't do my main run through. First one is to immediately run out as soon as you can, so we'll be using the cargo trick to do that. And we get one side up for escaping the area before they seal off the outpost. Now the secondary one, you saw that there was walkers that they were bringing on over. There's actually 4 of them, one that comes on this side of the base and one that comes in on the side we entered from in the first place. The other side mission is to extract all 4 of the walkers. Obviously we can't do both in the same run. Also, in this run through, since I went loud, it was actually pretty nice. I was running around sniping guys, and seeing the AI react was kinda... It was neat, because they were just randomly firing in my general direction where I was firing from, while they sent a bunch of other guys out to try and flush me out. Also, I was, since I was already caught and I came in with a silenced pistol, and I missed the guy, he ducked behind a corner and started shooting in a random direction it was pretty cool. I should have shown it off, but I wasn't recording at the time. And yeah, the sniper rifle makes the walker guys trivially easy. And something I've shown off with the first guy shot is that on the front of the walkers, that little faceplate thing, they have this one little like triangle spot. I guess it's so the guy can peek through, but all it did was allow me to shoot him in the face. Also, Ocelot, he didn't say in this run too, but Ocelot expresses confusion as to why there are walkers already here, because you would have figured the walkers would have just been for the Russian guys. But nah, this African militia, or DMC, also has them. So it seems that Cypher is also...
You see any other escape route? Well, I guess you could just bust through the gate.
Ocelot, I'm already out of the base. And then we just need to simply run out of the zone to complete the mission. But yeah, it seems Cypher is also supplying the guards here as well. And now back to our regularly scheduled run through. As you see, the two guys were already over there, so I was too late in escaping to get the side mission of escaping before the base is sealed off.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
And yeah, look at that, 16 staff dismissed.
Development project has been added.
And a metric fuck ton of development options that have opened up.
Mission complete, boss.
And hey, S-Rank, I'm sure saving all the children, as well as the Vulture, helped make up me getting captured.
Boss, we took another look into Saner, the owner of the oil field. They were behind what happened. They hired the PF, not United. They restarted the facility all the while pretending they were the victims. One other thing. Saner's Johannesburg head office is just a room in a multi-tenant building. Company's essentially non-existent. 3 years ago, that investment fund stepped in and started gutting it through a series of mergers and sell-offs. And get this, the fund itself no longer exists either. It's a shell corporation, meaning someone is just using Saner's name from the shadows. But what about those strange corpses? Just what the hell were they doing over there?
D-Walker, huh?
Hey! Snake! I've customized a walker gear just for you. It features a silent running system, great for infiltration missions, and you can also summon it to your location. I've taken the liberty of calling it the D-Walker. It's armed with a suppressed tranquilizer gun. If you want to add other weaponry or upgrade the chassis, give the order from your iDroid.
I'll show off D-Walker next mission. Also, during my side ops, I maxed out my affinity with D-Dog, so I can change his fur color.
I've updated the mission list. We received a new job offer. It doesn't seem connected to Cypher or Skullface at all, but if it goes well, we may get an Afrikaans interpreter. The details are on your iDroid.
Yeah, that's kind of odd. To get the Afrikaans interpreter, we have to do a main mission, but if we wanted the Russian interpreter, we had to do a side ops. So this is taken from my bit of the side ops marathon I did. This is extracting another one of an old Diamond Dogs member who was trying to extract another prisoner at this base. Something I always found kind of odd whenever I enter a base with on the helicopter and I'm shooting the guards and all that stuff. I always find it kind of weird that you get a fame penalty for being spotted as being the guy shooting the soldiers in the helicopter. But whatever. Maybe it doesn't count because they don't realize it's a big boss who's going around shooting them all. There's something else that's kind of weird. I don't get why Kikwa never helps out, you know. I swear he even says something like covering fire boss, but he doesn't actually shoot any bad guys. So one thing I'll mention here in regards about side ops, which is quite a downside, is that they all pretty much go on maps we've already been to. So we'll be seeing the same locations over and over and over again. Also, I don't think oh no, I have mentioned that there are balloons around of guards, decoys. Something I haven't mentioned, I think I shot a few of them when I was coming in on the helicopter, but if you destroy them, you get 5 heroism points for it. I'm not quite sure why, but I guess it's something.
Please select a strike point.
Also, I'm just going to bring Pequod in to help out. After he does his attack runs, he'll land in the base, so I can extract the two prisoners. And showing off the Magnum here, I'm kind of, well, revolver I mean, I'm kind of surprised that it apparently can't shoot through those wooden boxes. Weapons do have different kind of penetration, but I think that might just be for penetrating armor because I haven't been able to shoot through wood with them yet. Another thing to note, when you're already, you know, in the combat like this, soldiers will automatically know it's you if you make noise. They won't, like, investigate. They'll just say, hey, he's there. And Pequod arrived just a little too late.
Approaching position.
Hey, there's a blueprint here for the shield. Actually, the shield, that does remind me, has some great synergy with D-Walker, so we'll have some fun with that next mission.
Analysis complete.
Damn, that prisoner, A+? I guess that's the Mother Base member because at least I'm hoping those were legitimate A's. I don't think I've talked about the boaster trait that guards get, but if they have a boaster trait, they somehow manage to trick your analyzer. So if you see a guy who just has like 5 A+ and an unknown skill, he might just be a boaster, which is really fucking aggravating. And damn, you got fucked up by like 3 or 4 guys with assault rifles. It's gonna be a while though before we can actually make Pequod into the party here. Also, you can make Pequod stop his attack run and land, or just straight up dismiss him if you wanted to. Wait, fuck. I didn't mean to hit E that second time, and I had to call him again. Whoops. But doing that mission, we now got ourselves a new picture that we can give to Paz.
What is it, Snake?
I'm having some difficulty with context-sensitive buttons.
Remember Professor Galvez on his instrument during Peace Day? Woo! Such a funny sound for a musical instrument. He said the Soviets invented it. Everyone sure seemed impressed. Music has no borders. The professor taught me that. Where's Professor Galvez anyway? I am so tired. I will just lie here a while.
Alright guys, hope you enjoyed. I'll be seeing you all next time. Seeing you all next time. Seeing you all next time. Seeing you all next time.